Good morning, good morning, good morning. Great morning to you guys on this Thursday. I'm super excited to be with you all on this triumphant Thursday. We're going to triumph and trample over everything that comes in our way because we have the victory. So, good morning again. Great grace to you. Those of you who are tuning in on the Rev J Daniels Facebook page, great grace. May grace and peace be multiplied to you. Will you do me a favor? Like this broadcast, hit that heart, keep hitting it. Let them hearts jump on the screen right there. And then will you tag two or three people in the broadcast and hey, say you need to join. Even if you got to listen to the replay, you need to hear this message. Tag two or three people right quick. And then will you share this to your profile, to your pages, and or your groups that you're a part of and tell them, hey, join for Rise and Build on this Thursday as we talk about forgiveness as an emotional freedom. And then if you're tuning in from YouTube, welcome YouTubers. Will you do me a favor and click that like button right there? Like this video. And then where it says share in the arrow, will you click that button and share the link out to a couple people? Tell them, hey, jump on right quick or listen to the replay. This message is just for you. Make sure you're following us on the school app. The link is in both description of the videos, and you can just click it right there. It's free of charge to join our Create Your Now community. We're getting ready to do some community things there. So I want to make sure that you are a part of that. Our daily arise and declare declarations are there. I want to make sure you're a part of that. So go ahead and join the school app. You just need your name, email address, and boop, you're right there, a member into our community. And then you can download the app so you can get the notifications every time we post or go live or whatever we're going to do right there in the Korean Year Now community on school. If you have not already marked your calendars, mark your calendars now. October 8th, 9th, and 10th. We're going to be doing Vision Fest 2026. I'm super excited about all of the people that I'm bringing in to share with you all, the facilitators, to come and share. This is a conference like none other. It's not a church conference. It's not a marketplace conference. It's a ministry and marketplace conference. We're going to talk about the 7 mountains of influence and how you can activate, execute, and dominate right there in whatever mountain of influence that you are called to. So I'm super excited. Make sure you mark that on your calendar so that you can be a part. More information will come as it unfolds, but go ahead and mark those dates. Request the time off at your job so you're not rushing to do it later, so that you can have plans to come to Vision Fest 2026. All right. I'm super excited again about all that the Lord is doing. We're sowing this week. If you want to sow and partner with us, if you want to be a sponsor or an investor or someone who helped with the conference, you can email me and we can talk about ways that you can do that. If you want a table, if you want to put some goodies in the registration bag, if you want a commercial, whatever you would like, if you want to be an ad in the book, you can email me and we will get that information to you as soon as possible. If not, if you want to just partner with our ministry partner here, this week we're sowing a seed of agreement, the power of a witness, the power of establishment, a seed of two. So if you're sowing, you could sow $1.22, $2.22, 42.22, 122.22, wherever your faith is, wherever your ability is, wherever your grace is, wherever your obedience and your sacrifice to the Lord is. Just do it cheerfully. And he promised, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall he cause men to give back unto your bosom. And so I'm excited about all that God is doing. We're going to get right into our lesson this morning. Great grace again. If you've not already, like, tag, and share this broadcast on Facebook, and like and share it over on YouTube. Thank you again for tuning in. And we're going to talk about forgiveness as an emotional freedom. Forgiveness as an emotional freedom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many people think forgiveness means it didn't hurt, it didn't matter, or that they were right. And that's just not what forgiveness means. So we hold on to the pain to prove the wound was real. Wait a minute. Because we think that forgiveness is a sign that it didn't hurt, it didn't matter, or that they were right, we decide to hold on to the pain to prove the wound really existed. But holding on to pain does not honor the past. It prolongs the injury. Forgiveness is not approval. It's not condoning. It's not saying it didn't matter. It's not saying they were right. It's not saying that it didn't hurt. It's just simply releasing the effects of the pain. Today, we'll talk about forgiving not to free them, but to free you. Core truth number one: unforgiveness keeps the event alive. Write that down. When you don't forgive, you keep the event alive. A lot of us have a lot of things that we have kept alive through the years because we just simply will not forgive. Your body keeps reacting as if the events is still happening. You replay conversations, you rehearse responses, and you keep reliving the emotions. Not because you want to suffer, but because your mind is trying to resolve what never closed. But forgiveness closes the loop in your brain that keeps reopening. So I need to practice forgiveness so that I can close the trauma, so I can close the painful experiences that keep looping in my brain, in my heart, in my body. Everything's responding to these loops of pain, to these loops of trauma. And we got to decide that we're going to forgive. And we got to understand why it is important to forgive. Because if we don't forgive, we keep reliving, rehearsing, keeping the event alive. Some things happened to you 20 years ago, but you keep it alive. I'm gonna say this. You all know that I'm the wealth genius. I'm the credit doctor, and so I was talking to one of my colleagues about a specific bank, a bank that I actually love, a credit union that I actually love, but they're infamous for this. They're infamous for this. You can get your car repossessed. You can have them close your credit card. But instead of charging those things off, they report them every month as late. So the 7-year statute of limitations where it's supposed to come off, it never exists because it's still reporting fresh every month, as if you're freshly late, as if you're freshly charging off. And we were talking and we were laughing, and I said, this has to be against the law because it keeps the trade line active by reporting every month. Something in your life happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you're acting like that credit union. Instead of letting it charge off and sit to the by the wayside, you keep reliving it every month, keep reporting it every month so that it stays active. It never has time to heal or never has time to discharge it. You got to make a decision in your brain that stops now. I'm going to stop reporting, stop reliving, stop opening up this womb every month so that time can also play as a healing agent. Core truth number two. Core truth number two. Forgiveness does not require reconnection. Write that down. A lot of times we even prolong forgiveness because we're like, I'm not ever reconnecting with them. But you can forgive somebody and not reconnect with them. Many of us avoid forgiveness for this simple reason, because we think that if I forgive you, I got to re-give you access to me. But it does not mean that at all. You can forgive. Not you can. Let me rewind that. You need to forgive and still set boundaries. Boundaries are a must, because here's the reality. The reason why you have to give forgiveness is because boundaries was crossed. Oh, y'all don't want to talk to me this morning. I said the real reason that you are having to extend forgiveness is because in some shape, form, or fashion, boundaries was crossed. So you can forgive and now set very hard boundaries. You can release bitterness and still change proximity. I don't have to remain close to you or allow you to remain close to me for me to release and forgive and move on. Everybody you forgive don't mean that they need to be in proximity to you anymore. Some people you need to forgive and let them go on and you go on. Forgiveness heals your internal world, but boundaries protect your external world. Write that down. While forgiveness heals your internal world, boundaries protect your external world. Builders understand both. You need forgiveness and boundaries. I think I just got another t-shirt. Forgiveness and boundaries. These are all my therapy t-shirts. You need forgiveness and boundaries. I'm going to release the pain, the trauma, the effects of it. But I'm going to set a boundary to make sure that particular one don't creep up again. Core truth number 3. Core truth number 3. Release restores emotional capacity. Release restores emotional capacity. Carrying resentment consumes your energy. That's why a lot of us don't have the capacity to do what is purposeful, what has been assigned, what is necessary for our destiny, because we're carrying so much resentment, bitterness, unforgiveness that it's daily seeping and consuming energy. And so we wake up ready to do purpose, but have no energy to do purpose because we're carrying all of the hurt, pain, and trauma from yesterday. Some of you can't do what you're assigned to do in the ministry you at right now because you're carrying the resentment of what happened in the last ministry. Some of you can't connect with your coworkers right now because you remember the betrayal of the coworkers at the last job. Carrying resentment has consumed all of your energy, and it keeps you from having the capacity to fulfill your current assignment. I'm going to help you today. This energy that is consuming is energy that could really be creativity. Your creativity, wait a minute. Your creativity is being stifled because of the resentment and unforgiveness and bitterness and the trauma and the remembrance of trauma that you won't seem to let go of. It's consuming your relationships. The energy you should have to put into your marriage, to put into your children, to put into your parents, to put into people, places, and things, to put into your co-workers. You don't have that energy because the resentment, the pain, the trauma has consumed it. You got a good man, Savannah, but you're treating him like the bad one that you had before. Why? Because that resentment, that bitterness, that trauma, and the effects of trauma is speaking louder and consuming all of your energy, that you have no energy to really healthily build where you are now. The energy could be going to your purpose, to your kingdom God-given assignment. But all that resentment, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing another event. I'm not doing another. I can't. They just don't appreciate. And all of that resentment, all of that bitterness, all of that unforgiveness is stifling your purpose. You keep going in circles. God is trying to tell you to step out the boat, and you keep remembering all the people who lied on you, talked about you, and cheated and betrayed you. And now that energy is being consumed, you don't even have the energy to step out into purpose anymore. It's consuming energy that really could be peace. Your life is chaotic, turned upside down, has no sure grounding and footing because you want to carry the resentment, the pain, the bitterness, the trauma, the effects of trauma. You just refuse to release it. Forgiveness returns emotional space. When I look at a jug of water, right? I drink a jug of water each day. When I look at a jug of water, if the jug is full, I have no more room to put any water in it because it's full. I can put my water packet in there. I can change the colors. I can change all of that. I can freeze it. But until I pour the water out or drink the water out, it's still full to capacity. And many of us, our reality is like a water jug. We have no capacity for nothing else. So all we've been doing through the years is simply changing the color. We've simply been pouring in another Kool-Aid packet. We've been pouring in another Crystal Light. We've been pouring in because we can't, until we empty it out, we can't refill it with another substance. So we just been trying to change the substance in there, but all we've been doing is changing the color. It's still water. You can add fruit to it. You can add color to it. You can add sweetening to it. It's still water. But what forgiveness does is it pours that jug out and it allows you to be at a capacity to be refilled. You need to forgive so that you can return emotional space back to your heart. Your heart is at full capacity and not in a good way. And as you forgive, it returns that emotional space. It's not instantly, but it's progressively over time. Every release lightens the load. Write that down. Every release lightens the load. I need to operate in releasing the pain. One of the things that I am practicing now, and I want you to practice this, and then I'll go into the homework. At the time of hurt, at the time of betrayal, at the time of letdown, that's when you need to start expressing and releasing. You maybe can't tell the person yet because it's too much anger, too much frustration. You need to write it down. You need a journal. Don't carry it. At the time of hurt, that's the time you need to release it. Find a way to release it. If you got to walk, if you got to scream, if you got to yell, whatever you got to do to release it, do it at that moment. Don't carry it too long because the longer you carry it, the more you normalize it. I feel the Holy Ghost. I said, the longer you carry it, the more you normalize it. And now the molestation, the rape, the abandonment, the rejection of your childhood, you have normalized as a part of an accessory to your outfit. And so I feel the Holy Ghost. So every morning you get dressed and you put on the accessories of your past traumas and your past hurts because you have normalized them as part of your wearing. And you got to release them immediately because the longer you carry them, the more normal it will become to be an accessory to your outfit. Each day you're a grown woman, you're a grown man still getting dressed with little childhood accessories that hurt you along the way. And you're walking in jobs, you're walking in meetings on the defense because you got an accessory on that you shouldn't have on. You should have already been healed and moved on from. You need to lighten the load. You're carrying too much. You cannot go up a mountain carrying dead weight. Let me go to the homework. I got to ask you a question. You're going to put this in your journal. Who am I still emotionally arguing with? Because some men, you got to have the last word. They've gone on, but in your emotions, you're still arguing with them. They hurt you, and you still scrolling their Facebook. They done got remarried. They done got children. They ain't living happy. They done got a good job. When they was living, when I was with them, I had to take care of all the bills. Now they done went and got a good job and got a wife and got kids. And now you're bitter and you're still emotionally arguing with somebody who's not even paying you attention. Who, what, where am I still emotionally arguing? And then begin to declare that I release my need to listen to what I said. I don't release this. I do release this, but that's not what I want you to say here. I want you to say, I release the need to carry it. Because for some reason, you keep telling yourself you need to carry that. And you need to release yourself from the need of carrying it. You don't have to feel ready. You choose direction first, and then everything else will follow. Choose the direction to move forward, and everything else will begin to align to follow you in that regard. Today, I want you to practice one small release. Stop rehearsing the conversation in your mind and just begin to release it. Release it, release them. Forgiveness is not forgetting the past, it's refusing to relive it each day. Forgiveness is refusing to relive the past each day. You deserve a mind that is not occupied by yesterday's trauma. Just declare that. Just declare that over your own life. Make it personal. I deserve a mind, a heart, a body, a soul that is not occupied with yesterday's trauma. Builders who forgive don't excuse harm, but we do reclaim our peace. It's not about excusing the harm that was done. It's about you reclaiming your peace. Let me give our declarations for today. I release resentment and reclaim my peace. I forgive without surrendering wisdom. I set boundaries and free my heart. I refuse to relive what is over. I create my now. I release resentment and reclaim my peace. I forgive without surrendering wisdom. I set boundaries and free my heart. I refuse to relive what is over. I create my now. Remember, if you haven't liked, tag, and shared this broadcast, like and share it on YouTube. Join us on the school app by clicking the link in the description of the video. If you're sowing your seed of agreement, the power of agreement, the power of establishment, the power of a witness, your seed of two, whether it's your widow's mite $1.22, or it's from your abundance $222.22. If it's 32.22, 12.22, wherever your faith is, wherever your ability is, wherever your sacrifice and obedience to the Lord is, do it cheerfully. And he's going to raise up people to use his power, to use their power, their ability, their influence, their affluence, their network, and their net worth on your behalf. I believe that. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. Somebody is getting ready to obey God concerning you. So will you partner with us in this regard? Just grab your seed of two and sow it right there. The ways of giving is in the description of the video on YouTube, and it's in the comments of the video on Facebook. You may sow via Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay. It's all right there. Zelle. It's all right there for you to sow. More grace to you today. Remember, forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. Stop holding yourself hostage. Free up your capacity so that you can do what God has called you to do. Keep arising. Keep building. God has a purpose, a plan, and an assignment on your life. And nothing's happened in your life unless the Lord allowed it. And if he allowed it, it's because all things are going to work together for your good because you're loved, because you're called, because He has an assignment over your life. Go, grow, and glow. May God's peace, God's protection, and God's provision be your portion.